morning. It is the Vlog Ride, and we are on the way into work. And just a few little thoughts. So apparently, I didn't realize until I started seeing videos of things that you missed and Easter eggs. But the trailer for It Chapter 2 dropped. So, yay. I love Stephen King. I do. At some point, I might talk about the Dark Tower series, which I love. So, you know how everybody feels about the end of Game of Thrones? And how everybody's like, oh my god, they ruined season 8. What the hell are they doing? Why did they end it this way? Ruin, ruin, ruin. Like, I kind of sympathize with people, and I kind of like chill a little bit, because I know that feeling. I felt that way with how the Dark Tower series ended. While, yes, there were some things set up, the payoff was disappointing in some regards. But overall, I love the Dark Tower series, and I think one of the things that I love most about it, there is something that King did in ending it. And it keeps your imagination going beyond the end of the book. And I don't know. I mean, I know thematically why. I kind of wonder if there's more to that, though, than just the themes of the book. So I'll delve into it at some point. I think it is one of my favorite series, even as disappointed as I was in how it ended, and I didn't like Wizard and Glass. I really did not like Susan Delgado, and I didn't like what ended up happening later in the books with Susanna. I do not like the end for some of the characters, especially as iconic as those characters were. Their ending was very disappointing. But yeah, the way that the book ends, it's something I'll have to talk about. I have to remind myself to talk about that. But that's not really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about it. It Chapter 2 is coming out. The trailer looks wonderful. It's creepy, and we've got the creepy old woman. That was like a big focus that, people online are just going nuts over old Mrs. Kirsch. And for good reason. She was really scary really creepy in the book, and they seem to have done a really good job with that, just from what you can see in the trailer. I like the look of the actors that they chose for the parts. The thing that I like most about that, though, is apparently they went to the kids who played the younger versions of the characters and were like, hey, who do you want playing you? Who is the dream person that you grow up into? And I like that they did that. I liked that they went to these kids and said, who do you want to grow up into? And I know at least in several of the cases, those were the actors that ended up being cast in the roles. And that kind of like meta connection to the themes of the work is just fascinating to me. I cannot let that go. That tells me there's going to be some interesting depth to what we're going to be looking at with this movie. And meta connections like that, I think, are actually very important when it comes to King's work. I had never considered Stutter Boy. I cannot think of his name right now. I never thought about the fact that, yeah, he's actually an author insert character, because he's a writer. Now how much of an insert he actually is to King, I don't know. But in other stories, specifically in the Dark Tower series, King has literally inserted himself in the books. Not in a, here's the author insert, but in literally, here is Stephen King in the book. There are connections between his different books where they either take place in the same reality or they end up tied in some way between different versions of reality. Because if you read a lot of King's work, there is this multiverse kind of setup that he has for his different worlds. The Stand is connected to It and to The Shining and to the Dark Tower series. All of these different books that he's written, he has different connections to in some way. There is a very important meta aspect to his work, and that the director and writer clued into that and used that in the selection process, you know, in keeping with the themes of the book, really tells me I'm going to be in for a treat. And that's important to me because Stephen King books did not, when I was growing up and a young adult, seeing Stephen King adaptations on screen, they very often left much to be desired. Even when they were fun, they were trashy fun. There have been some very good King movies, King adaptations, over the past decade or so. But it, like, blew them away. And I'm really hoping, just from what I've seen here, that Chapter 2 is going to be the same way. Most especially because, like, okay, one of the funniest moments of watching the first movie, we went and we saw it in the theater. And it's got, you know, creepiness, and it's got jump scares, and it's a really good adaptation. It's like, I love Tim Curry Pennywise, but Skarsgård does a really good job. He does such a good job with it. If I can't have Tim Curry as Pennywise, I'll take him. So, you know, there's lots of great moments in the movie. There's some stuff that's obvious adaptation. There's other stuff that is, you know, true to the book, and then there's other stuff that kind of bridges in between there as not being true to the book, but being a good homage. Some changes that they made that you're like, why did they make those changes? Maybe we'll figure it out in the next book. Maybe whatever. We don't know. So there's all of the gamut of watching an adaptation of something that you love, because it is one of my favorite books that Stephen King wrote. But it was a really good movie. My favorite moment, though, comes at the very, very, very end. Spoiler, I guess. So we get to the movie, and the whole time we're watching, we're like, we're not getting to any of the adult stuff. Like, the adult stuff's a huge part of the story. This is just focusing on the kids. And my husband and I would look at each other and we're like, oh. It gets to the credits, and, we're trained to sit through credits. And I honestly do not remember if it was right at the end of the credits or if it was done in the middle of them or just the beginning of them. I don't exactly remember, but you have just enough, wherever it happens, there's just enough come down time for the audience from the movie and from the wrap up and all of that. And it goes and then it goes chapter 1. And all these people in the theater just start screaming, oh my God, you cannot put us through another one of these. It was fantastic. Just, you could tell how traumatized people were from watching the movie. It was great. It was so great. So knowing how other people in the audience were affected by the movie, makes me very excited for the second one. So there you go. My thoughts on the It trailer, It Chapter 2 trailer. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been waiting for this movie to come out. So hoping I will be able to get out and go see it while it's in the theater, because that will be just really good. Wonder if I should make it my first 3D movie to go see. I don't watch movies in 3D. That would be kind of creepy, though. I don't know if I could convince anybody to go and do it with me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. If you are, then drop me a line, shoot me a tweet, whatever. If you liked this video, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, hit me up on Twitter. Tell me what you think about the adaptation for It Chapter 1, what you're looking forward to in Chapter 2, and, your own experiences in reading King. Do you empathize? Actually, yeah, we'll make that topic of discussion. Have you read the Dark Tower series? What did you think of how it wrapped up? And what does it help you empathize and sympathize in some way with the Game of Thrones fans who were deeply disappointed in how the show ended? There we go. I think that should hit all of the hashtags. Maybe we'll get some algorithm going on. So yeah, peace.